the people who were crafting the budget, including a lot of educators who are now senators and representatives, listened to your coalition. They listened to Optimize, and they said, we have to do something a little bit differently and lift up all students, including many students who require special education. We were looking at all education funding and really all funding through the state budget through an equity lens. And so we had historic investments, over $310 million into special education. It was historic, right? When you can invest not only in students, but also in wraparound services and in educators, that's when you know that you're doing something. Education is one of the most important fields that anyone can go into. And yet our teachers are asked to do much more with much less. You have teachers who have GoFundMe accounts just to fund school supplies. And we continue to try to nip at the edges, but ultimately, in order to meet the demands of this field, we have to pay teachers better, and we have to incentivize more people to go into education.